Guys, it's Lisa Unger, and I'm back with another episode of Three Good Things. And I'm so excited to have my pal, Lou Berney, the amazingly talented author of most recently November Road. He is like a multi award winning author. And more than that, he's just like one of my favorite people. And we haven't seen each other in such a long time, and normally we would probably see each other at BoucherCon and Thriller Fest and all these like sort of fun things that we get to do as authors together, which we are actually not going to be doing this year, like at all. So hi Lou, thank you so much for
It's so good to be here. And Lisa probably says that about all her guests, that they're one of her favorite people. I know what she does, but the truth is, like,
I do say that, but I really mean it this time.
But I was gonna say, like, we only met a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I think. We met. And it was like instantly, I loved hanging out with you. Like, we just had this immediate, like,
we did.
We were just like, we kind of just like clicked immediately. So you are literally, truly one of my favorite people. I don't care.
Thank you. And that is so true. And honestly, I wouldn't have you on here if it wasn't true. And it was like an instant love connection. Like we were instant, like besties.
You can't stop yourself from lying. Just stop. She's a fiction writer and she just lies.
I do. I lie constantly all day, every day. But in this case, it's true. It's in my heart. It is. So thank you for being here with me, for real. And we're going to, so the world is a little bit crazy right now. Lots of sort of negative things. Some, I think, maybe eventually positive things are going to come from this time that we're all sharing together. But, I'm trying to, my natural instinct is kind of to counteract negativity. So that's why I'm trying to put out these like videos with my author pals about stuff that we love. And so most writers, and I've said this about 500 times now, we're readers first. This is where we fall in love with story and within the pages of somebody else's book. So Lou, can you tell me, like, is there a book that you love that you kind of return to again and again, or just something that's like blowing you away right now?
When you said that, I started thinking, like, there's a book I probably read once a year, and it's a fairly recent book. It's CASE Histories by Kate Atkinson.
Oh, yeah.
And for whatever reason, that book, like, is kind of what made me a crime writer. And it's the book that just kind of reminds me of what I want to do, because it's just this brilliant mystery that's also funny. It's also literary and deep. It's got great characters. The writing's great. And just the whole sensibility of it seems to like speak directly to me in a way that I think every writer has that sort of book or books where you're like, oh yeah, that's the book I want to write, or I want to try to write.
Yeah.
And so if I ever feel like I'm stuck when I'm writing, I'm like just not feeling it that day or that week, that's a book I'll go back to, and it just like wakes me up. Like it wakes up whatever's in me that is the good part of me as a writer.
Yeah, Kate Atkinson is just stellar, and that is actually also one of my favorite books. I know exactly what you mean, because it just succeeds on so many levels. It's so riveting. It's all the characters are so layered. There's these multiple stories that all connect in this way that is almost like magical. It's definitely one of my favorite books as well. And I think a book for me that's kind of a little bit like that as well, although certainly CASE Histories is one of them, is Mystic River by Dennis Lehane. That's another one of those books that I think is like sort of on par with that. It's just like, so, Dennis Lehane is such a tremendous writer. And that book is, very layered and, just riveting, and just, it's kind of got a little bit of that like, like train wreck feeling to it. Like you just know everything is just going to just be, really dark and wrong, but it's also so beautiful and so perfectly done that you just, you can't turn away from it. So yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah, I think he does almost better than anybody that sort of building sense of dread of like, you just know it's going to go really badly, but you just can't stop reading. And like, I love Gone Baby Gone.
So invested. You're so invested in the characters. You cannot, you cannot stop hoping that, maybe everything's going to be okay.
Right. Exactly.
So also, a lot of us are doing a lot of, watching too. I mean, we, people who love stories get it any way they can, you get your story fix, however. So is there anything that you're watching right now that's really thrilling for you, or something that you maybe go back to again and again?
Well, other than Office reruns, which I watch a lot, my
Yeah,
wife,
we're
my
doing
wife,
that too.
is like I just for some reason are very comforting to watch Jim and Pam's relationship develop. But
I
um,
know.
there's a show that actually a good friend of mine, Katrina Holm, who's part of the writing, the crime writing community. She's married to Chris Holm, who's a fantastic writer himself, a great thriller writer. She recommended this show called The Magicians to me that's on Sci-Fi. And I had read the novel The Magicians, which I really liked, but I was like, I don't know about the show. But I started it, and it just blew me away. And I think it just finished its 5th season. And it's fantasy, but it's very realistic. It's very gritty. It's very funny. I was a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in the day, and it's kind of like the new Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And that's a show that I just finished the 5th season. I just love that for, again, those layers you're talking about that we're talking about. There's just like great story, great characters, humor, horrifying horror moments, everything. You just get everything.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. I can't believe I have not even heard of that. Is that, you think something that would be something that Ocean would like to watch? Do you think it's?
She probably doesn't tell her parents about that. She's like, they're too square for something
Yeah.
like.
She's
Okay.
like, yeah, I'm watching this because I'm cool, but I'm not going to share it with you because you just can't hang in that way. Yeah.
It would ruin it. It would ruin it if her parents were watching it. Just say you want to sit down and watch the show with her from, for straight through 100 episodes. That's what you should do.
We are we are watching The Office with her. We just started, like, for her it's all new, like she's never seen it before, right? So
That's great.
yeah, and it's kind of a nice age. Like, I had actually talked to Ace Atkins about this a little bit, because it's like all of a sudden you get to watch things with your kids, that you actually enjoy, because there's a large there's a long period of time where you're like watching things with your kids and you're like, oh God, like I just need to see over. But now we're like in this moment where we're like actually enjoying the same thing, like Stranger Things and Lost in Space, which was also excellent on Netflix. Have you seen that? It's like a reboot. No, it's a total reboot of Lost in Space. It's super great. If you get a chance to watch it, it's really, really good.
It totally will. Good.
Yeah, and then of course The Office, and then we did Parks and Rec, which is another great one. So like now she's kind of, she can hang.
That's so funny. That's so great.
So we're all, in our family, we're all cooks. We all like to cook. We all like to get into the kitchen and kind of, make a big mess and create something fun. And is that the same for you guys? Do you guys cook, or do you have like, are you just like ordering pizza?
No.
Or like, what are you doing during the?
We're embarrassed. We used to be embarrassingly bad. Like we would just do takeout, or we would just like eat sandwiches, or just like, we never ever cooked. Literally never. Maybe once every 2 months, we would actually like turn a stove on.
Like, and then what would you put in it when you turn the stove on? Would you just like throw a frozen pizza in there, or like?
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, it would be one of those frozen pizza things. So that's what it was. And then when we started to stay in for the pandemic, though, we obviously we had to change, and it's been great. We've actually started cooking every night, and like I do the cooking, my wife does kind of the prep and the cleanup, and so we have a good teamwork thing going on. And so we don't do anything fancy at all, but we definitely are kind of cooking now, and it's kind of awesome. There's something to be said for that whole sort of process, and that whole, I don't know, I like the routine of it, and like doing something that you can see the results of, and then you get to eat it, and it's just kind of nice. So all the time we're saving, like driving around to different things, we're doing cooking, which is a much more kind of fulfilling sort of way to spend your time, I think.
Yeah, and were you like kind of surprised about like how easy it was to just roasted chicken, or like?
Oh, we don't do that. That's way too hard. Roasted chicken.
So what are you cooking? Tell me. Wait, I just want to know, like exactly what. Like just a random.
No, it's embarrassing. No, it's just don't. I think what we consider cooking is probably not what you consider cooking, but for us, it's cooking. So.
Okay, all right. So you're not going to get into. You're telling me you're not getting into detail.
I learned how to poach salmon. That's my big thing.
Good. That's great.
I ran out of propane. I'm actually a pretty good griller. I can grill. Oh, yeah. But I ran out of propane, and then trying to cook salmon in the house, there's too much smoke if you pan fry it, and it was just like, so I was like, I learned how to poach it, and it's like, oh, that's really easy, and it tastes pretty good. So like I know how to poach salmon. That's
I
my
think
big.
that's great.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's embarrassingly easy, but I'll take the credit though, for
Yeah,
sure.
no, I think that's really good. I mean, I love that. I love that you guys like sort of pivoted to become cooks. And who knows how you will, expand. as
Yeah. What do you cook? What's your typical thing that you cook?
We do a lot. I mean, so we do a lot of grilling. My husband is very into the big green egg.
The what?
So do you know the big green egg? It's like this giant grill, like
Oh yeah, I do. The griddle.
smoker
Yeah, yeah, the
thing.
smoker one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Right, right,
So
right.
he's into that. We do a lot of seafood, salmon a lot, shrimp. We do, for me, it's always, my sort of default setting is like Italian cooking. So I, sort of do a lot of like marinara and then like big, we do a lot of salads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we have a pretty wide range of stuff. We're not, we're like kind of part-time vegetarians, so a lot of our meals might just be vegetarian, might be like a Mediterranean thing, like falafel or hummus and salad and stuff like that. So we're pretty experimental, and we have been, like before all of this, it was like, you kind of get into like a little bit of a rut with things, you like make the same, okay,
Yeah.
turkey tacos, and then, okay, and then we're going to do baked ziti and like whatever, you kind of get into a rut. But this is like sort of let us, is really forced us to kind of go outside our comfort
Yeah.
zone and just try to do different things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's fun.
Good.
That's, one of the benefits from being home. And I think, I hope that like a lot of people have just decided, I'm going to cook more because, even moving forward, because like, you think about like all the money and time and,
Oh yeah, it's
that
crazy.
you and the driving, and then even just like the containers from takeout and
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that. You just like, okay, we're saving all this, and it's really so easy. And most of the time, it's like way better than, than any, because we're both
That's
really
the
good
thing.
cooks. It's way
It's like
better.
better food. It like tastes better. It's like you win on
Yeah.
every count. Like it's cheaper. It's better. It's better
Yeah.
for the environment. It's just everything. And
Yeah.
I don't see us going back at all. Like this is like a great kind of revelation for us.
Yeah, that's great. That's excellent. Well, I love that you took some time out to chat with me today. Thank
I
you for
loved it. It
doing
was so good to
that.
see you. It's been too
Yeah,
long.
I know it's been way too long. So thanks for being with me, and thanks you guys all for tuning in. And this has been Three Good Things. And Lou's a fantastic writer. If you have not checked out his books, you really need to do that. And is your website just louberney.com? Is
Yep.
that?
That's
Yep.
it.
So everything you want to know about Lou can be found at louberney.com, and everything you want to know about me can be found at lisaunger.com. And it's just that easy. So thanks for being here, guys. And we'll see you again for Three Good Things.